Hello, Algebra 2 students. This is Mr. Villanueva. Today we will be doing lesson 1-3. We're going to talk about extrema and in behavior. Here we have today's goals. Identify extrema of functions. Identify in behaviors of graphs. Here is the vocabulary. We have extrema. That should kind of sound like extreme to you, like either really small or really big. Maximum, like the most, right? Minimum, relative maximum. These are all kind of words that we know, but we'll figure out exactly what they are talking about. Okay, it says learn extrema of functions. Graphs of functions can have high and low points where they reach a maximum or a minimum value. The maximum and minimum values of a function are called extrema. The maximum is at the highest point on the graph of a function, and the minimum is at the lowest point of the graph of the function. A relative maximum is located at a point on the graph of a function where no other nearby points have a greater y-coordinate. A relative minimum is located at a point on the graph of a function where no other nearby points have a lesser y-coordinate. Okay, watch out, no extrema. Some functions like f of x equals x cubed have no extrema. Okay, find the extrema from graphs. Identify and estimate the x and y values of the extrema. Round to the nearest tenth if necessary. Okay, right here, f of x. The function f of x is, now we're talking about this function here. Here is f of x. This over here is g of x. The function f of x is blank as it approaches x equals 0 from the left. So if we start from the left and we're approaching x equals 0, okay, so as x is going towards 0, what's happening here? What are we doing? The function is, give you guys a second, what's it doing? Is it increasing or decreasing? It is decreasing. So I'll go ahead and type that in. You guys will get books, I believe on the 3rd. So you can rewatch these videos and go ahead and fill in the blanks, and hopefully this will help you out. Okay, so as it approaches x equals 0 from the left, and blank as it moves away from x equals 0. So as it is going away, here's x equals 0, right? This is our value 0. As it's going away, what's happening? It's either increasing or decreasing. It is increasing. So I'm going to go ahead and type that in. Okay, further, 0, -5, that's this point right here. Here's 0, okay? 0, and then down 5, -5, is the lowest point on the graph. So 0, -5 is a, what do you guys think? Is it the maximum? Is it the highest that it'll go? Or is it the minimum, the lowest that it will be? Okay, this is the lowest point. So this will be called minimum. Okay, the graph g of x. So we're talking about this graph over here is blank as it approaches x equals -2 from the left end. So from over here, from the left, as we're getting close to -2, what's happening? We start here at the very left, and we're approaching -2. What is it doing? It is, that's right, increasing. It is increasing as it approaches x equals -2 from the left, and blank as it moves away from x equals -2. So what is it doing when it goes? Here's -2. What's it doing as it's going away from -2? Well, on both sides, it's going. So what's happening on this side as it's going away from -2? Because it doesn't say going away from the left or going away from the right. So let's check both. Going away from -2 to the left, we are decreasing. Let's try the right side. As we're going away from -2, again, it is decreasing. Okay, further, there are no greater y coordinates surrounding -2 and 8. Let's see, there are no greater coordinates surrounding, here's -2, 8. Okay, however, -2, 8 is, what do you guys think? Is it the highest point on the graph? It's not the highest point because over here it's going up. So I was a little bit confused on that. I didn't know what kind of an answer they wanted, but all they wanted is the word not. Is not the highest point. I was looking at that and I didn't know exactly what kind of an answer they wanted. So yeah, however, -2, 8 is not the highest point on the graph. So -2, 8 is a blank maximum. Okay, so around this point, okay, it's not the highest point because over here would be the highest point. Okay, actually, there is no highest point because it goes on up and up and up forever. But here in this area, this is the maximum. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and, well, it is the relative maximum. Okay, so this is the relative maximum around this point. Okay, now let's go ahead and look at the next part. The function g of x is blank as it approaches x equals 0 from the left. So as x approaches 0 from the left, what's happening? It's going looks like it's going up, and then it looks like it's going down. But I think they're talking about from here, over here from the left, it is decreasing. So let's go ahead and type that in. And blank as it moves away from x equals 0. So as x goes away from 0, what is it doing? It's going upwards again. Which we call increasing. Further, there are no blank y coordinates surrounding 0, 4. There are no blank y coordinates surrounding 0, 4. So here is 0, 4. So around this area, there are no other points that are less. There are points that are greater, but there are no points that are lesser around this area. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and type in lesser. Y coordinates surrounding 0, 4. However, 0, 4 is not the, it is not the what? 0, 4 is, it's not the lowest point because the lowest point would be all these points over here. So we're just going to put on here that it is not the lowest point. On the graph. So 0, 4 is a what kind of minimum? So around this area here, we call it relative. If it's close, we call it relative. So let's go ahead and type that in, relative. Okay, study tip, reading in math. In the context, extrema is the plural form of extreme point. The plural of maximum and minimum are maxima and minima, respectively. Okay, why are the extrema identified on the graph of g of x, relative maxima and minima instead of maxima and minima? Okay, you guys go ahead and think about that and go ahead and type in your answer. We're going to go ahead and continue to example 2. We're going to continue to example 2 on the next video. So stay tuned.